This is a very unusual instrument. It is a Kahn 12 string made in the 1970s or early 1980s. Actually, it would have had to have been made before 1980 because that was the year that I got this guitar, and it was early in the year as a birthday present from my father. I got to select it, and it is the finest instrument I've ever owned, and I own and have owned quite a few really fantastic instruments. It's odd that a great guitar was made by a company that's not known for making guitars. Kahn, spelled Conn, is known for their trumpets and trombones. And as far as I know, they only made guitars for a very short period of time. But during that period of time, they must have had some really excellent luthiers. A tradition that kind of began with this guitar is whenever I get a new type of instrument, I write a song for it to teach myself how to play that instrument. And the very first song I ever wrote, at least the very first song I ever wrote that had lyrics, is a song called Spirit of May that I wrote back in 1980 to teach myself how to play this guitar. So I'm going to present the song to you, and then I'll talk a little bit about the rather strange techniques that I developed for the song all the way back in 1980, Spirit of May.
Lost in September, much reason to live, boundless joy to give to those who remember. I said it before, I'll say it again, youth is more than a number. And if you recall, it's told to us all, you can live forever. I took her hand and walked in the sand without saying a word. I said it before, I'll say it again, youth is more than a number. And if you recall, it's told to us all, you can live forever. Of all the creatures that have given their lives back to the earth. But our Father has given us the choice to go back to the earth or onto the sky. And you know how life flies by on this earth that we call Earth. And the things you collect here are of little worth. As the world grows dim before our eyes, what we have lost, that isn't cause leaves the skies. I said it before, I'll say it again, youth is more than a number. And if you recall, it's told to us all, you can live forever.
I recently found these wonderful little things called butterflies, and it's just a little pick holder that is made out of rubber that fits on the top of the guitar, and it's called a butterfly because that's kind of what it looks like when you put the picks into the thing and stick it up here. I've still got a very bad habit of holding my pick in my mouth when I'm using techniques that I simply can't do while holding the pick in my hand. You know, I've got my little pick trick where I hold the hand in the crook of my middle finger, which allows me to play with all 5 fingers. But if I'm doing some flamenco strums like this, there's no way that the pick is going to be able to stay in my hand. For Spirit of May, I'm also doing some odd tappings, and the way that I'm doing the tappings are to play the harmonics. I'm holding an E chord down here, so I'm playing the 12th fret harmonics on the open strings, but then following the shape of the E chord to get different harmonic sounds up there. And then there's a set of harmonics on the 7th fret and a set of harmonics on the 5th fret, which you're probably aware of. So I'm simply following the shape of the E chord to see what kinds of harmonics I can get there. And so I get these wonderful little odd notes out of the harmonics by just following the shape of the E chord. Kind of enjoying the different sounds that'll come out of the guitar, and finally, for the end of the tapping section at the beginning, I'm just doing a rhythmic tap on the 12th fret of the open E string, and then everybody's familiar with that sound. It's kind of the beginning guitarist's attempt to do Mexican style flamenco guitar, and it was certainly mine back in 1980. But what I'm using again is an odd thumping of the strings using my fingers. It's not unlike the way that Flea later slapped the bass to get interesting sounds out of it. So it's kind of a string slap, but it's right up against the bridge of the guitar where the strings are the tightest, so that you can get the most reaction out of it. A few other strange things I'm doing. In writing the song, I wasn't the least bit worried about all the time signature changes that are in the song. Nor was I worried about the overuse of harmonics, which was common back in the 1980s and in the 1970s, which is kind of where my inspiration for music comes from. But there are a few other little techniques that are in the song. One of them is when I'm doing the strumming pattern, there's times when I strum up against the neck to get one sound, and then I strum over the hole to get another, over the sound hole to get another sound, and then up against the bridge to get yet another sound. And so I'm doing lots of changes of position where I'm hitting the strings to get different sounds out of the strings. And at the very end of the section that uses all of these different string position strums, I end with that, leave that open so that the strings will keep playing before I come to the harmonics, which are very simple. The song is very simple to play. The lyrics are quite simple and yet fun and just a little bit inspirational. It might not be the way that I would write lyrics today, but pretty happy with the lyrics that the young person in 1980 wrote. So if you want to use the song, I'd be glad to know that it's out there being used in performance. And if you want to, if you're interested in the mechanicals so that you can record it on a CD, please contact me through my website, which is robertbrucescott.com. And I hope that you'll subscribe to this channel. One of the other songs that'll be coming up for my 12-string series will be Wholehearted. Another song that I'm looking at for the 12-string series is Life in a Northern Town, as well as several of my own compositions. So stay tuned.